Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. I have another nail tutorial slash review for you today. This is for a brand called Eazel, Art at Ease, and they've been slowly becoming sort of popular on social media. I even saw Susan Yara mention them in one of her videos, so I thought I'd give them a go. At first I wasn't super interested, but then eventually became curious just because the reviews for these are somewhat hit and miss, more on the miss side. And this will actually be my second set that I'm trying on. I did do another one, and at the end of this video I will show you how those were and what ended up happening with those. But in the main part of the video I'll just tell you all about these and how to put them on and give you some tips and tricks. I have these two designs left. This one is number EZD17 Aqua Bliss. And then this one is the ruby red, and I'm going to put on the ruby red today. Eazel also makes some temporary tattoos, and that's what you see on my hands. Right now I'm sort of testing them. I have one on my forearm here as well. As you can see, it's cracking a little bit. But I thought I'd try something in a very high water usage area, like the hands. So in case you're wondering what those are, that's what that is. Those are just temporary tattoos. So the first step to any good nail application is prep, and that's actually sometimes the most important step. All I do to my nails are use a cuticle pusher, and I like the metal ones. Just don't be too harsh. Don't press too hard. You don't want to damage or injure anything. And I go in and just push back the cuticles to make sure that when I put on the nail sticker, it is not going over any skin. You can definitely trim the cuticle if that's what you prefer. I don't like to do that because to me it just introduces extra opportunity for an injury and then potentially infection. Plus they tend to grow out jagged, and I'm not a nail tech, I'm just a nail enthusiast, so for me pushing them back works just as well. I do not trim my nails beforehand because I like to trim them with the sticker on to make sure that the sticker and the nail are exactly the same length. This is what you get in a kit. You get a sheet of nail stickers in various sizes, and then you get this little pack here with two prep pads, a nail file, and a little instruction booklet. The one thing that I have to point out is they, for some reason, say to trim or file the nail strip before baking it. I recommend baking it first because filing these nail strips while they're soft is not a fun task, and you are very unlikely to get a nice clean edge. So already right off the bat, making modifications to the little instructions. The nails are sandwiched between two sheets of plastic. I'm going to go ahead and remove the top one. I will say that a lot of brands that I've tried will have individual little sandwich pieces here for the top, and that's both good and bad. It's nice because that little sheet stays on the remaining nails if you didn't use all of them on the little stickers. It's bad because it's a little annoying to have to remove each one individually. I am slightly disappointed by these here. Can you see this on camera? There are ridges in these. Do you see that? They're into the touch. They're not totally smooth. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up. In my little viewfinder, I can see that. So the ridges here and these weird scuff marks on the larger nails. I don't love that. I've never seen that on any other nail brand, and the first set of these that I tried had an actual design on them. It was pastel, these little smudges, and like I said, I will show you at the end of the video. So if those had any imperfections from manufacturing, I probably wouldn't have noticed them, but with these, because it's a solid color, I can really tell. So we'll see how that looks on the nail once I apply. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these prep pads included in the kit. In general, an alcohol pad, a rubbing alcohol one, works just as well. All these do is remove any excess oil from the nails to ensure good adherence of the sticker. And then if you do any sort of shaping of the nail beforehand, filing, buffing, anything like that, and you have a little nail dust left on your nails, this is also a good thing to get rid of that. Next is to pick your size. If in doubt, go a tiny bit smaller than your nail because you don't want anything overlapping to the point of touching the skin. So I know from doing these the last time that I need this second to last sticker size for my pinky nail. I am not going to use the entire length of this because my nails, even though this is very long for me, are actually not that long. So I'm going to just use my finger to peel these off. If you have very long nails and you want to use the entirety of the sticker and you don't want to touch the back of it, the sticky side, you can use eyebrow tweezers to gently lift off that sticker without touching it. So I put it on as close to the cuticle and as close to the edges as possible without actually overlapping the skin. And I keep repeating that, but really the big part of good application that lasts is not overlapping the skin. And then I'm just pressing it down to get it to stick really well. A little pro tip is to get yourself one of these little rubber cuticle pushers. These are very cheap, usually sold in multi-packs. It's a soft tip. You definitely want ones that are a little bit softer, not just hard plastic. You can push down, especially along the edge, on the sticker to make sure there are no micro bubbles and nothing else. If there's a bubble or anything else, any space between the nail and the sticker, that's where moisture can get in, that's where lotions and oils can get in, and that will significantly impact the wear time and the lifting. But I'll also tell you that sometimes, depending on the quality of the strip and the brand, no matter what you do, you can do everything right and they're still not going to last well, and that's what I'm here for. That's why presumably you read reviews, watch videos like this before you actually buy something. Now we repeat this process for all of the nails. I usually do the entire hand first before I trim anything. I don't know if you can see, but this nail had a little speck of something on it. I try to get it off. I think it's a little manufacturing defect. Can't quite get it off, and I didn't want to damage the actual strip because they are semi-cured, so they're sort of soft, and if I push on them with my nail or if I push too hard with this rubber thing, it will indent them. But I'm a little bit unsure about the quality of this particular set, just because it seems to have, this is the second issue already that it's having, the first one being those strange irregularities in the stickers that we saw. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of them on off camera because it's a bit tricky to balance everything with the camera in the way and trying to stay in focus, and then I will be back and show you the next steps. I put on the rest of these and trimmed most of them. I left one to show you. You can use clippers or scissors. I prefer manicure scissors just because that's what I'm used to. And when I trim this, I'm going to cut a little bit of the nail as well because I want these to be very much the same length, the sticker and the nail. I don't want anything hanging over the nail because that's something that could catch and lift. And you can see here, there's the little piece of the nail. And that's why I don't trim my nails beforehand, but if yours are super long and it's more comfortable to clip them a little bit beforehand, go for it. I just wouldn't cut them to the shortest length that you prefer because then that doesn't leave you any room to trim them with the sticker. This is what's left of my sheet. I did waste one sticker because I picked the wrong size, so if I had done everything perfectly, I would have had one more left. Unfortunately for me, this sheet is only enough for one manicure because of the sizing. So while they're quantity-wise probably enough stickers here to do it again because they include 24 and I only have 10 fingers, sizing-wise, there's just not enough here for me to do a manicure. These bigger ones, however, can be used for a pedicure for toes, and maybe some of these ones can be trimmed down to make little toes. I usually just paint my toes, so I'm not sure that I'll be using these. Depending on your finger size, you might be able to get 2 manicures out of this. Next and potentially last step is to cure these under a gel curing lamp for 45 seconds. I have my own here that I've owned for several years. Most of the sticker brands sell lamps as well, but those tend to be pretty flimsy and small. They're good for travel, but for actual all the time use, I prefer a bigger lamp. And then I have these UV protective gloves on because I don't want to age my skin prematurely, the skin on my hands that is. These are fairly affordable, and I will put links in the description box for everything. I definitely recommend you pick a pair of these up if you're going to be either doing gel manicures yourself all the time or if you're going to go to a nail salon. I would even bring these with me just because, again, not a great thing to expose your hands to UV if you don't have to. And the reason I prefer bigger lamps like this one to the tiny ones that usually are sold or even come free with nail stickers is because I can fit a whole hand in there all at once, including the thumb. One thing to note about Eazel nails that I have not experienced with any other brand is the first 2 or 3 seconds under a lamp, the stickers heat up quite a bit. I can't say that it's painful, but it's a fairly intense heat sensation right on the nail bed, and then it dissipates as you cure. So it's really bizarre, and it's just not something I've had with any other brand, and I've used a lot of them. I have Dashing Diva, Ahora, Gelsey, I can't even remember all of them, Nail Log. I mean, they're just so many different ones, and these ones are the only ones that do that. Not to mention, I also used to do gel myself, like the Shellac brand, the Gelish brand. When Shellac first became popular, I was, in college, and it was expensive. I went and had it done one time and watched them do it and thought, well, I can probably do that myself. And I sort of can. I can't paint it as perfectly, which is why I use stickers, but I definitely tried all these different gel stickers and everything else, and these Eazel ones are the only ones that heat up like that. These are cured and hard now, so I can no longer dent them by pushing on them, and that's how you'd know that they're done. I'll try this included nail file. To be honest, it feels pretty flimsy. I'm not sure what it's going to be able to do. The way that I like to file these is at a 45-degree angle to the nail like this, and just go down like that. You don't want to go side to side because you can fray the sticker or damage your nail. I do not like that file. It's not doing a good job. I'm going to use the one I already own. This is a little more robust, a little more coarse. I know it's not the newest looking thing, but it works. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And all I'm trying to do is just smooth out the little imperfections of me cutting my nails and these stickers. I'm not trying to reduce the length dramatically or anything like that. Just clean it up a little bit. I filed off the uneven edges, and I have to say I can see in real life those imperfections that we found, that we noticed right after removing the top film, where the red doesn't seem super even. I don't know what happened. I swear the other set I had wasn't like this. You can even see my pinky finger here. It's not as shiny toward the middle as it is on the edges, and it's not as shiny as the other ones. And again, it's that weird manufacturing imperfection. I don't know what happened. Potentially, you could stop right here. These are fairly thin, not in a bad way necessarily. They still do exist as a separate entity from my nail, obviously. So on the edges, you can see the nail and then the strip. And I would say that's the biggest difference between these and doing real gel, the liquid kind of gel, or getting somebody else to do your nails for you with gel, is normally the nail technician will cap that free edge and it will all be the color of your nail. I'm going to show you a little trick how to make that look a little bit better in just a couple of minutes, but you could stop here. This technically is it. This is the last step. What I'm going to do though is take this One Step gel top coat. It's a different brand. It's not Eazel, but the brand doesn't matter. I like Gelish. This one is fine as well. It's a UV LED gel polish. Anything you want to use is fine. I would just probably stay away from regular polish that's not curable, because those typically don't last as long as the stickers, or as good quality stickers anyway, and so you don't want that peeling off of your stickers while your stickers are still looking fine. So what I do is just take a little bit of it, and we're going to start with a free edge, cap the free edge, make sure you cover the whole surface, your nail and the sticker, to make them one unit. And I will also create a slight thickening here at the top, right? And that's why we started there. So now I'm going to cover the rest of the nail just like you would if you painted with polish. If we did it in reverse, if we did the nail first and then capped the free edge, you would have that little thicker ridge there. Because we did that first and then the whole nail, we're not going to have that ridge. And another tip, start with your pinky and work this way and then cure your hand and then do the other one. The reason for that is if you start with a thumb, I've noticed, almost no matter what gel brand I use for my top coat, if I paint the thumb and then hold my hand like this and do the rest of it, the gel on the thumb tends to pull on the side here because of gravity, and by the time I cure it, there's this noticeable thickening right here. So all I'm going to do now is paint the rest of this hand, cure it, paint the other hand with clear, cure it, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can see that the free edge is now one entity. The nail and the sticker are together, and it feels really good actually to the touch. There's no snagging and no lifting. These are not buckling, and at least in my opinion, the clear gel coat completely hid all of those bizarre manufacturing imperfections that this set had. One curious thing is I lost a piece of my tattoo here. It probably rubbed off with a glove. I don't know. It's a little bizarre. I wouldn't expect it to do that. This one's still holding on. And the one on my arm here, this one is actually 3 days old now. It's a little cracked in the bigger parts, but for the most part, it's okay. The one thing I don't like, though, is that the clear parts that started out clear, that sort of hold everything together, they are turning gray now. So they must be attracting some dust or whatever. I don't think it's dirt necessarily, but they're getting discolored. And now, yeah, I can see all of that weird darkening of the white spaces around the dots. Let me show you how my first set wore. I know this is a different set, but that's the one I actually did first. I put it on a Sunday night, and right now it's a Friday night. It looks pretty good, it lasted well, but now I am getting, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of buckling right at the cuticle line. But the biggest issue I'm having is this nail here on the thumb. It actually separated from my nail, the sticker did, here at the edge. And I don't know if you can see the dark pieces right there. That's not dirt on my finger. That's actually between the nail and the sticker. I was cooking today and I was dealing with some roasted butternut squash, and I think it's like a piece of roasted skin from butternut squash when I was peeling it. So now that that is there and there's no way to remove it, and even if I got it out, I dug out the biggest pieces actually, but I think now that it's lifted, anything is going to get in there and I'm not going to deal with that. So I will have to remove them today. And I don't know if you can see, but right here at the cuticle, it's also lifting. And I think that happens actually with various brands of stickers, but a lot of the times if you have a darker design, you're not going to notice that lifting, but with the lighter designs you can really see it. This is what the other hand looks like, and again you can tell here on the middle finger right there, it's a little bit lighter by the cuticle here next to my ring finger. So I think that's also lifting. Overall, I think these wore really nicely for the first about 4 days, and today somehow like everything just seems to be going wrong. I prefer definitely nails that last at least a week, but even better 2 weeks. Usually I go for brands that really stay on well, and the only reason I remove them is because my nails are grown out, not because there's some sort of issue with lifting or separating or anything like that. I will give these kudos on not snagging my hair. I'm actually surprised because again it looks like they're lifting here at the cuticle, and I'm sorry about my dry hands. I've been doing a lot of cooking and hand washing and they're just dry today, but I haven't had any hair snag between the sticker and the nail, and usually when there's lifting at the cuticle, that's kind of the first telltale sign is when the hair snags. So I haven't had that problem with these, but overall unfortunately just not super long wear. I try not to judge a nail brand though by one application because sometimes it's a fluke, sometimes it's a little user error, whatever. So I'll see how the second set is lasting. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to see how this set is wearing, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. I save stuff like that in the nails highlights. I'll put it in the stories, but then I will also save that in the nails highlights. So if you are watching this video more than 24 hours after I posted the story. You can still see what ended up happening with these and also check out some other nail brands and things. If you like nail tutorials of this sort and reviews, please check out my nails playlist. I have Dashing Diva there, the gloss, the glaze, and the press-ons. I have Nail Log, I have Ahora, I have some other brands, and I will have even more coming out as well. If you have a request or suggestion on what brand I should try next, please leave me a comment. But thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you're having a lovely day. You can find me on my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. I'll see you in my next video. And until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.